Welcome back once again, all my low carb friends, and for those of you who are here for the first time, welcome. Today I have another very easy keto recipe for you. Today I am going to show you how to make super easy, savory or sweet breakfast bites. And if you want a printable version of this recipe, you can check out my website at janet'sdeliciouslowcarbkitchen.com. You can find a printable version of this recipe and other goodies there for you. And if you're new to the channel and you want to see lots of easy, delicious, low-carb keto recipes, make sure you click that subscribe button and click the notification bell that's right next to the subscribe button. That way you can be notified every time I put out new videos. And if you are a music lover, make sure you check out the link in the description to my other YouTube channel, Inspirational Songs with Janet. I posted another new song there, so make sure you check that out and subscribe there also. And remember, Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, 1 p.m. Pacific time, I go live on TikTok at Janet's Delicious Kitchen. So make sure you check me out there. And if you would like to help support this channel, make sure you scroll down in the description of the video. You'll see some affiliate links. Anytime you purchase anything using those affiliate links, a small portion of your purchase will go to me and help support the channel. So while I do all that, let's get cooking. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Lightly grease 6 muffin cups. If you're going to be wanting more than just 6 breakfast bites, you can always multiply this recipe for however many you want. It's best to use a silicone muffin pan for these. It just makes it a whole lot easier to remove the muffins once they're done cooking. If you use the liners with the ridges, you have a chance of the ridges getting stuck into your breakfast bite, and then when you go to take the liner off, there could be a possibility that your breakfast bite would fall apart. But you can try it if you want to. If you don't have a silicone muffin pan and all you have is the metal muffin tins, just line them with a smooth piece of parchment paper. That would probably be a little bit better, or grease them really well so you can easily remove the bites once they're done baking. Also, if you're using the silicone muffin pan, place it onto a small cookie sheet. This just makes it a whole lot easier to get it in and out of your oven. Then set your pan aside for a minute. In a medium blender, combine 4 large room temperature eggs, 125 grams or around a half cup of cottage cheese. I'm using full fat cottage cheese with roughly around 4% milk fat. You can use pretty much any cottage cheese for this recipe. If you use low fat or skim, it might be a little bit different in texture, but it'll still work. Add 1 ounce or around a 1/4 cup of shredded cheese of your choice. I'm using Colby cheese. Add a 1/4 teaspoon of salt and an 1/8 teaspoon of pepper. You can adjust your salt and pepper according to your personal taste. Blend everything together for around 30 seconds or so, or just until it's completely smooth. You don't want any chunks of cottage cheese, so nice and smooth. Divide the batter evenly amongst your prepared muffin cups. It's roughly around 3 tablespoons in each muffin cup. You do not want to overfill this, so be very careful because while these cook, they rise a little bit. And so if you overfill your muffin cups, you're going to have a little bit of a mess all over your muffin pan. So about 3 tablespoons works if you have a normal size muffin cup. If you want to, you can top the breakfast bites with some toppings of your choice. I'm just using a little bit of dry parsley here, but I also like sometimes to do crumbled bacon or some chives or bell peppers or some finely chopped ham, whatever you want, or you can just leave them plain. That's all up to you. Place the bites in your preheated oven. Bake at 350 degrees for 20 to 22 minutes or until the eggs are firm. You don't want any softness in your eggs. Once the bites are done cooking, remove them from your oven and allow them to sit in the pan for about 3 to 5 minutes so they can continue to firm up and finish cooking, and so you won't burn your fingers. As these cool, they will deflate just a little bit. It's all right. That's not a problem. Once the bites have cooled a little bit, to remove them from the muffin cups, use a butter knife and just gently drag it around the edges of your breakfast bite. This will just kind of loosen it a little bit from the edges. If you have a silicone muffin cup, all you got to do is push the bottom of the muffin cup and boom, the breakfast bite is going to pop right out. If you've used the metal muffin tins, it might be a little bit tricky to get the breakfast bites out. If you've lined them with paper, you should be able to just pull the paper out. If you haven't, then after you use the knife to loosen the breakfast bites, just kind of turn your muffin pan upside down and they should come out. You can serve these warm or at room temperature. If you do have any leftovers, let them cool to room temperature, and you can store them in an airtight container in your refrigerator for up to 3 days, or you can wrap them individually and put them in a freezer-safe, airtight container and freeze them for up to 1 month. If you're wanting a sweet breakfast bite, then you'll need to increase the temperature of your oven to 400 degrees and then grease your 6 muffin cups. In a large mixing bowl, combine 28 grams or around a 1/4 cup of coconut flour, 5 grams or around 1 teaspoon of baking powder, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 7 grams or around a 1/2 tablespoon of the granulated sugar substitute of your choice. I'm using granulated monk fruit sweetener. You can adjust the sweetness more or less depending on how sweet you want your breakfast bite. Sift the dry ingredients all together until there are no lumps. Add 2 large room temperature eggs, 15 milliliters or around 1 tablespoon of melted coconut oil or any oil of your choice, 60 grams or around 1/4 cup of room temperature Greek yogurt. I'm using vanilla Greek yogurt. You can use plain or any other flavor of your choice. Add 60 milliliters or around 1/4 cup of room temperature keto milk of your choice. My favorite keto milk is always coconut milk. Add 1 teaspoon of maple or vanilla extract or any extract flavor of your choice. You can also adjust this more or less depending on how dominant you want that extract flavor to be. Stir the wet and dry ingredients all together until fully combined and a smooth batter forms. Now you can leave these just as they are. I like a little bit of a sweet, salty taste if I make these. So I like to fold in about a 1/2 pound of cooked and drained sausage. You can use some crumbled bacon or some ham or some veggies. Or like I said, just leave them plain if you just want strictly sweet. Divide the batter evenly amongst your prepared muffin cups. It's roughly around a 1/4 cup of batter in each muffin cup. If you need to, use a butter knife or the back of a measuring spoon and just make sure that the batter is spread evenly and smoothly throughout each one of the cups. Then place the breakfast bites in your preheated oven. Bake at 400 degrees for 20 to 25 minutes or until the breakfast bites are golden and a tester comes out clean. Once the breakfast bites are done baking, remove them from the oven and allow them to cool in the molds for about 5 to 10 minutes or until they're firm. Once they've firmed up, use your butter knife just like you did with the savory bites and just kind of loosen the breakfast bites a little bit from the muffin cups and then pop them out. You can serve these warm or at room temperature. When you're ready to eat them, place your desired amount of the breakfast bites on a serving plate of your choice. Top them with about a teaspoon or so of maple syrup, just a little bit to give a little bit more of a sweet hint. Or you can just top them with butter if you don't want any maple syrup. I like to use Lakanto's maple syrup, or I'll leave a link in the description to my keto maple syrup. If you do have any leftovers, do the same thing that you did with the savory bites. Let them cool to room temperature, and you can store them in your refrigerator for up to 3 days in an airtight container, or wrap them individually and freeze them in a freezer-safe airtight container for 1 month. Eat and enjoy. And that's our recipe of the day. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did and you want to hear more recipes like this, make sure you click that thumbs up like button, click that subscribe button, leave me a comment if you want to. Let me know if there's any recipes that you'd like to learn how to make, and I'll do what I can to get those out there for you. And as always, keep cooking.